preview time. The weekend's ahead of us. We're heading to the Queensland Carnival for the next couple of months, Beaver. Pretty good card up there too. We've got Sandown to look at. How are you travelling, mate?
Mate, travelling pretty well actually. Another bright and sunny day and another show on the cards.
Yeah. Just give you a bit of a plug.
Good bull.
The bull's in the books. 3 days in the books. You had a $16 winner yesterday.
I was about to say that, mate.
But go and blow your own trumpet.
You beat me. I'll turn it up. You beat me to it. So you go, mate. I prefer to listen to you.
Yeah, it was a secret plan. $16 up along the rail. Up you go. Very good to watch.
How good's it, Beaver?
And unfortunately, Nemeth didn't head to the bull, but got up at $11 yesterday at Wagga as well. So
yeah, apologies, I missed that, mate. It was hidden in there a bit for me.
Same. I actually didn't realise till later, to be honest. So I was kicking myself, but missed the jump. But anyway, I had a nice message from a couple of mates that got on. I followed my cryptic tweets there to get to Wagga. But anyway.
Good stuff.
We got sunshine.
The boys live.
Yeah, we keep kicking. All in all, good carnival at the bull. Plenty of highlights. Always good fun. So, as I said, we're heading to the Queensland Carnival, so we'll stick predominantly to that for the next 6 weeks or so, right through to the Stradbroke, BCT Cup, and all the stuff along the way. Right now, though, we're at Sunshine Coast, a transferred Gold Coast meeting, where the rail is in the true. Currently a soft 5, but the weather's supposed to be pretty good, so I imagine it gets to a good track. Sunshine Coast usually plays all right, doesn't it? It's usually...
Yeah, it's a pretty fair track. Yeah. Plenty of room in the straight. You can come from anywhere, and I think it's one of the fairer tracks going around.
So not too much. I don't have any demons to worry about in terms of track yet. So we kick off with the 850 metre Bat Out of Hell. All the usual sprinter suspects have popped up here, Beaver. Which one's going to win, though?
Yeah, this is interesting little race here. I've gone for Goldsborough. Just based on the draw, I think I can get a right sit here. Obviously, the 850, they go quick here and getting the right sit. So I thought he could run really well fresh. Goes well fresh as well. Got a good record. Obviously, the favourite. It flies first up. 7 first up runs, never missed a placing. Trialled well. So I wouldn't. I'd keep it on close notice, and a horse like the Move can go really well first up as well. So, but on top for me, Goldsborough, just ahead of La Palmiere. They've finished close every time they've raced.
Yeah, I didn't really like the race. I ended up finding Archer's Paradox on top off the win over the track and distance, or at least the distance. Last time out beating the Bopper, I thought that form was fair enough for this. Cross from the outside gate, maybe can hold on, but it won't be a high investment race for me. I like this race. I don't mind this one here, which is the second 2,400 metre benchmark 78. And I found a bit of Sydney form here at a price. I like, I'm giving a good chance to Brynner. It's 20-1 at the moment. It's finished on the heels of a couple of decent horses, Union Gap and Left Reeling. Last time before that was Yarrawonga. Not far away, and it's at 20-1 with Sam Collett going on. Can take up a spot and maybe give you a sight, bringing a bit of different form to the Queensland ranks. Other than that, I thought the 2 leaders are both in this race. Applications was good last time, just snapped late. And Scarlet Tufty is the only other leader and gets Nash on board. So that was sort of the way I was looking at it. I thought Alibi was a tad disappointing last time, so I've gone looking for a couple of 2,400 metre horses instead. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I was a little bit the same. Although its form has been consistent, Alabir, it was 3 lengths off Carlapour last week, and Carlapour couldn't go past a horse that hadn't won in a long time.
Yeah.
So if you're going through those form lines, I wouldn't be. I think it's a bit skinny, and maybe that's a bit flattering. That form got 59. So I kind of looked for some other things in the market. I ended up with Applications. Just on consistency there, I thought out to 2,400 would suit, and it's going well enough to run well in this. So it's what I've got on top.
Excellent. The first of the black type races is the 1,800 metres for the fillies here. The Bracelet. What do you like here?
Yeah, good little race here. I've settled on Renaissance Woman. they've taken it there for the carnival. Scratched a couple of times, I think, in Sydney, and then first up wasn't too bad in the. I know I've sort of finished a little bit down the track, but was okay first up in a Group 3 race in Sydney after trialling well. Now it gets up there, drawn well enough. I think it can run really well there. I would have thought Wolverine could run well, but I'm a bit concerned that it just runs home for the places in gate 17.
I wanted to find it on top, but from that gate, they always go back the bloodstock horses. It's just out of play.
It just puts it out of play. I think it would be set too big a task. The other one just keep a close eye on is actually the McDonald Waller 15-1 shot here. Beautiful Heart, third up. They have a habit of popping up on horses like that under those odds. But Renaissance Woman on top for me. Main danger, Beautiful Heart.
I sort of thought similarly. I set out to find Wolverine, but we've covered off the concerns I have. It'll flash home for third and disappoint everyone again. I've ended up going to the horse that beat at home, though, Street Gossip, who comes through the same form line, gets a nice run again, straight and leaders back, and runs well. From Renaissance Woman, had that nice 2,000 metre win down at Caulfield last prep. I think they've just brought it straight here. I think it does run well. Covered off the Waller runner. And Missy Moolah, now it's got a run. It's never been to 1,800. Interesting horse. Come over from New Zealand, where it had some pretty good form. And Robbie Waterhouse, when he finds these, gets him right a lot. I assume it's heading to the Oaks. And at 20-1, I'll have something on that to cover the other two. But, yeah, not a bad race to bet into, actually. The Ken Russell Memorial is next. 1,200 metres for the 2-year-olds. And I am sticking with the Waller J-Mac combination here. I didn't mind that Airbull of Influential. I think the winner of that midweek race has plenty of upside. Expensive colt to have come up here for all the important 2-year-old stuff. I think it can spring off that last win, spring off its debut. Let's get it out. It's a bit early in the morning. And jump well from Russian Alliance, who was very impressive last start and has jumped through every hoop it's been set this prep. And runs well again. I think the market's pretty close to right. Now, the other one I'll have a watch on is Money Team at $16. It's a $1 million colt with Casey Fogton. A really nice trial. I imagine it's a project horse, and the fact it pops up here in a listed race to kick off, I think it's got a bit of ability. So that'll be the other horse I'll mention here. What are your thoughts?
Oh, mate, I reckon you could pick 10 here and still miss it. It's that difficult a race, but nonetheless, we have to try and find a winner. I've gone for Zimmer.
Okay.
From the Neesham stable. I thought the first run was pretty good at Warwick Farm, and that was enough for them to take it north. So I think that's a really good line. Flashed home well there. I think it was drawn wide, but it'll come in a few gates here with some of the scratchings. I think it can get to the right part of the track down the middle here, and I think it's a real knockout chance. So I've got it on top around the $8 to $10 mark.
Beauty. Up next, we've got the Silk Stockings 1,400 metres for the girls. Pretty keen on Tycoon Evie's chances here. It looks pretty obvious. Should have won first up when he got cleaned up by the drifting horse there, and then ran well behind Princess Grace. I think that form's just a couple lengths better than what we're getting here. Fits this and gets J-Mac. All ticks for me. If I'm looking elsewhere, I could have something small, Miss Einstein, just for my own sanity as much as anything. And Osmose making its Australian debut. Trials haven't been too bad, but clearly on top, Tycoon Evie. Your thoughts?
Yeah, similar thinking to you here. Gets the right draw, got the right jockey, and got the right form lines for this, and is also third up. Everything in its favour. Those runs have been good. Slightly better. It looks a couple of lengths better than most of these, but some have been going okay in much lesser company on top for me as well.
Excellent. Group 3 Gold Coast Guineas 1,200 metres is next. We've lost Fashion Legend. Who do you like in the race?
Yeah, interesting little race. I think it's only got limited chances. I stuck with the favourite and the resuming Yellow Brick. I just think this is a horse that's tapped with plenty of potential, continues to improve, trialled very well. And prior to that, its form in some listed races and better quality fields looked pretty good. I had it on top.
Yeah, we've lost Fashion Legend, as I said. So I'm left with a couple of Sydneys. Well, one of the Sydney siders and one that's been here. Bunker Hut, I like the resumption. Was keen on it there. Now gets James McDonald, Flowing Gate. I think can run well around $14. And I've got the Dangerous Lubrication who hit the line really well. Second up, now third up. Gets out to 1,200 metres and gets Nashville Willer from Brody Loy. Again, $15. I'll look at those two. Yeah, obviously scared of Yellow Brick. Trolls were good. It's ready to go for this as well. The 7th is the feature of the Hollindale Stakes, 1,800 metres Group 2 weight for age. And I assume you're tipping the favourite. Do you want to tell us why, or should I?
I'm not.
Oh, I am? Well, I'll just say I thought Zaki probably overperformed in the all-age stakes, so I think that stacks up fair enough here, and I'm going to be with it. Do $1.60? No, he may get better. Who are you tipping?
Well, for exactly that reason, I did think it was pretty good first up, and that was an excellent run. And yeah, all things equal, probably should win this race. And it does go well up there. But I just $1.65 Zaki. I'm just struggling at the moment.
Yep.
I just don't see the value in that in this race. I'm going to go a Tissue. Both its runs this preparation have been outstanding. Probably should have won first up, and then second up was out. Like that was a fantastic run. I think if Zaki started in that, it would have given it a fair crack. So for me, I'm going to give it a good each way shot there. Mate, you're getting $2 the place. I don't see it missing a place. So I've got a Tissue on top. Obviously, Zaki hard to beat, and I think New Mandate, if you're looking for the exotics, is another one to throw in.
Yeah, well, clearly a Tissue was a danger for me. So you make a good point about maybe being better value at the each way. You can get better replaced there. I think Zayrick improves too. I think you forget that heavy track run and definitely gives you a shot for your trifectas. Very good Beaver. 1,200 metres up next again for the girls here. Let me have a look. Just a listed race. I am finding a girl though. I'm going to stick with Palaisipan. It was okay first up in Sydney. Spent the last 12 months in group stuff all through Sydney and Melbourne. Now comes back to a Queensland race. I would suggest this is probably the weakest race it's been in for a while. Tick over trial was fine and gets Josh Parr. Should go further forward than it did sit in Sydney. I think it runs really well at $8, good price. From You Called It, who flew in Sydney last time, inside gate for Malian, and Nice Trials was ridden out in the last one but hit the line quite well. They're the two I'm going to play. I'm fairly keen at least one of them is well in the finish. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, interestingly enough. I liked Palaisipan as well. If you go through its form last start, 1.5 lengths to Zapateo, that was outstanding. Prior to that, in Group 2, ran second behind Nimali back at Rose Hill in a good race there in last preparation. Again, we've seen that horses coming out of group form and going into these races, they do run well, and it's drawn well here. And as you said, $8. Zapateo, I think will win the big race down in Adelaide. So hard to go past that form line. And I thought you're right. You Called It can run well. Also thought 15 rounds, around $20. It was brilliant first up. It only just fell short of the favourite, Far Too Easy. One's $4 and one's $20.
Yep.
I thought you wouldn't want to let that under your guard.
Yep. No, good shout. Let's wrap up the day with the mile benchmark 85. A tricky finish, given the favourite. It wasn't the favourite. It's $10 actually. Al Burke. I set out to find Al Burke, but just doesn't win. I didn't quite know where to go. I can give up Opacity now. It's found a bit of form, another chance here, but don't particularly like the last race. Have you got any better clarity?
Not really, mate. Yeah. It's a bit of a stinker of the way to finish the day. You're going to need a lot of luck here. I went for Aussie Nugget. I thought its first up run resuming was okay. Finished off quite nicely behind a fairly decent horse in Tillingham. I think it can be further improved there. Handles the sting okay out of the ground, and the further they go, the better it'll like it. So up to this, from the 1350 to 1600 can run well, drawn well enough. Kilo half claim, and maybe each way, Aussie Nugget in the last.
Lovely. Do you want the Queensland quaddie, or have you done a Melbourne one?
Melbourne, mate.
All
You
right.
know I'm the Melbourne man.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I will run through and give you some sort of quaddie here. First leg, 2 Yellow Brick, 3 Swiss X-File, 8 Lubrication, 9 Bunker Hut, 12 Lady Laguna. Second leg, we'll go with 1 Zaki, 3 Zarek, and 14 Tissue. Third leg, 2 Palaisipan, 5 Far Too Easy, 7 You Called It, 13 Brigantine, although I'm tempted to leave it out, and you throw in 15 rounds as per the Beaver, and we'll come home with 3 Aussie Nugget, 4 Rousseau, 5 Alberg, 8 Opacity, 12 Drive a Deal, 14 Atlantic Eagle. Wide day, but a couple of splits, as usual, will pay all right. Let's head down to Sandown, which is, best in value. Sorry, we need to do that for progretracing.com.au. What have you got?
Yeah, my best bet, race 6, number 2, Yellow Brick. And my value bet comes up in race 8, number 2, Palaisipan.
Beauty. Race 5, number 1, Tycoon Evie, my best of the day. Value, race 2, number 9, Brynner. And I agree, Palaisipan would have been the next best for me. We're heading to Hillside where it's wet down there. So I can find my market. There it is. Rail moves at 8 metres. Apparently some rain coming tomorrow. So breaking up during the day, if we do get that, I think you want to be sort of coming down the middle of the track throughout the afternoon. We're kicking off with the 2-year-olds over 1,300 metres to start the day. And not a bad way to start the day if they're all here. I like the wet track trials of Hydrogen Power for the Price Kent team. Hit the line really well, and both times it stepped out on the wet. And around the 450 looks a good start to me. From Porter, who again is another one that's trialled well for the Danny O'Brien team and is nearly double figures. Probably play he had 2 freshies here, but maybe fitness and race experience on the wet might be better suited. What are you thinking?
Yeah, look, a tricky way to start the day. I'm going with long lost friend. Won first up and then wasn't disgraced last start. Only less than 2 lengths off the winner. I think he continued to improve again. The unraced brigade is hard to get a line on here. Keep an eye on Porter from the O'Brien stable.
Second is 1,000 metres handicap. What do you like?
Yeah, I'm going for the top weight here, Bay 13, resuming. Only had the 5 starts, won 1 and placed in all 4 other than that. And some of those are in group races, Group 3 enlisted company, where it's only finished less than sort of a length behind some really good horses. I think he can resume and run really well in this. Thought the $4 was a good price.
Agree. Not much more to add. Jump out to a good 2. Gets the claim for Carleen. All looks good to me. Good price. End Journey might have some upside. Nice enough debut if you want a danger. The third is 1,000 metre benchmark 78, where I've gone looking for the couple that was saved from Warrnambool here. I've got Senegalia on top, as I said before the Bull Show. I liked. It was unlucky at the Valley, then just finished on the heels of Verenskova and another good one, whose name escapes me, but that form stacks up well for this race. So I think around the $6 mark, it runs well again. Miss Balvanese come back well, get through the wet, and now Heidi flying, as the market suggests, is the other danger. What are you thinking?
Yeah, no, I'm going for the resuming Miss Balvini here. I think it can run really well first up, has good first up form. 3 from 3 first up, if you hadn't found that, Daggy. And has good form. 3 wins have been on softer going as well. I think that's a good lineup here, and some of those are in okay company when it's run well. 2 starts back, 4th behind a horse of yours, Asaphora.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a good form line, and only beaten a length behind Katsu at its latest up before it was spelled, carrying 61.5. So I think gets in here quite nicely with 56. Katsu would probably start favourite here. So on top for me.
Beauty. The third straight 1,000 metre race is a benchmark 100. We've got a short price favourite in Unflinching. Is that where you're heading?
I am. I think it'll be just too speedy for them here. Gate 4 is fine, gets the 2 kilo claim. Beat Foxycon, and we know how good Foxycon's going. Obviously, some of those wins at the Valley, the last 3 wins have been at the Valley, but prior to that ran second at Sandown as well. So I just think this horse is high flying and looks a clear on topper.
Beautiful. Yeah, not much more to add. I just want to say that Bless Her does set up really well for this one. I liked its chase behind Jigsaw last time. It's a wet track short courser. I think they'll come here thinking they can run really well, and around the $8.50 mark. Similar to earlier, might be an each way bet on it, might be better value for you, but unflinching if it gets through the wet, I think wins again. Fifth is a 1600 metre, benchmark 68. And back to the mile with Mark Zara going on, suits Cap de Joie. Set too big a task last time out. I think finds a very nice race to come here and give you a nice side around a $3 mark. On top from me, from Unusual Culture, who is only, I guess, Sandown exclusive these days, but always runs well here and will do so again. Anything else you want to touch on? There's a couple other bits and pieces. Thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Should have probably won last time when I was on it, but I might have something at the $11 as a cover just for my own sanity again. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's a good race. There's sort of 8 or 9 genuine chances. So I actually think, but I will have Cap de Joie on top because it is a horse I follow. I do like, and I think it's got ability. And you're right, it was set too big a task last start. It's a good horse. It'll give you a sight, and that's why I'll be on it. But as I said, Maracana was good last start. It found plenty and will run well. Unusual Cultures in best career form. Horses like Belle's Favour, it's getting to peak fitness, and Defiant Diva's only just beaten by Unusual Cultures. So there's lots of chances in this. I'm sticking with Cap de Joie. I just think slightly better than this company.
Beauty. 1,800 metres, I should say. Handicap for the 3-year-olds comes up next. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, look, another good race here, but I've got Dashing on top. It's just going too good for this field. This is a pretty ordinary lot, and its recent form's been outstanding. Gets the 1 gate, 2 runs back. 3rd behind Gringotts was outstanding. Kept chasing to the line there, which was nice. So the 1,800 won't hurt. And then just couldn't reel them in last start. I think this is the right grade here, and this is its chance to hit the winner's circle again.
I think it's a chance, but I am against it. I don't like gate 1 at this stage, and I've just got a feeling that Hillside Swoopers Lane might be well in commission, which is why I've ended up with Elkington Road from the outside gate. Has been up forever, but gets Mark Zara now. Had to cover a lot of ground at Mornington through the same race, and finished about level with it in the finish there. So I'm just looking at twice the price with it on top. But then there's not a lot else, as you said. Apart from those top 2, there's not much else here. A horse like McGarton might be fresh blood here. It was okay at 2,000, back to a mile, and with the claim under the minimum, Suits might be one for your exotics. 7th, 1,800 metre, benchmark 100. We see Globe step out again. Has been ultra impressive every time it's been to the races. Ed finds a very nice benchmark 100 to come to. I assume it's heading to some sort of derby somewhere. Because it'll win this and be on to bigger and better things. It might even be freshened up for spring now. But on top, if I'm looking for an exotic horse to throw out, maybe Port Phillip back onto a heavy track should the rain continue through the afternoon. But again, probably a pretty weak field for a benchmark 100, Beaver.
It is a pretty weak field, and Globe just looks the obvious choice here, doesn't it? So three from 3, carrying 51 kilos, and drawn in the right part of the track, and on the improve, stepping through the grades. So this looks like a natural step up, even a big jump from benchmark 64 to 100, but with 51, and this is a weak 100.
Yeah. The mile is up next, another benchmark 100. How are you thinking about this one?
Yeah, I'm sticking with Pinstripe. Outstanding last start. It's just a huge run. Again, Heffel gets 2 kilo claim. Has some good rides on the card.
And he's riding well as well. There's no problem backing her at the moment.
Yeah. Yes, I think it's just that got it back into the winner's circle, and looks good to me.
Yep, not much more to add. When you're dominant through the line, handles of conditions, and Carleen on, all looks good to me as well. If I had to name dangers, that'd be the 2 different form horses. Maroney over from New Zealand's always scary for the Forsman yard, and Stock Fresh Up has won fresh in the past. We wrap up with a 1,300 metre benchmark 78. Another tricky finish to the day, but I'm going to finish covering the two Busted and Young runners. Here's our Bonneval off some great trials. And Pasquero, who was just chopped out and spat out the back first up. Should have finished closer. Gets Mark Zara an outside gate. They're the two for me on a tricky finish. What do you reckon?
Oh, I've got Aradonte on top.
Yeah, okay, yep.
It was a very good run last start. You had to do all the bullocking work, sitting outside the leading, had to chase hard. I know it's drawn gate 18 here, hoping that's, that it has already come in 2 to 16. There'll probably be a couple more scratchings. I think it'll continue to improve, and I thought $5 was a nice price. There is plenty of chances in the field. As you said, the Busted and Young runners are a good chance, but I like this.
Beauty. Give us your quaddie then. We've waited.
Give us your quaddie, as he says. All right, let's give it a shot. In the first leg, race 6, number 1, Elkington Road. Number 2, Dashing. Number 3, Do It Lala. And number 4, El Solido. In the second leg, I've gone number 12, Volton, and number 13, Globe. In the third leg, race 8, I've gone number 2, Pinstripe, number 3, Gunstock, number 5, Keats, and number 6, Moroni.
Yep.
And in the last, good little race, as we said, number 2, He's Our Bonneville, number 3, Pasquero, number 8, Zorro's Dream, number 7, Vongole, number 12, Alredonte.
Lovely. Best in value for progretracing.com.au.
Yeah, my best is race 6, number 2, Dashing, and my value is race 9, number 12, Alredonte.
I'm going to make my best, let's see. Let's go Elkington Road, actually. Race 6, number 1. But I think Pinstripe does run well as well. Value race 4, number 4, against the favourite there. Bless her. We've got the Sangster, as you mentioned, over in Adelaide. Have you looked at that?
I did have a look at the Sangster. Keen that Zapateo can run really well here. It's in career best form. Brained him easy at last start at Randwick. I think the gate 11's not too bad. Oliver on board, I think around the $6 mark, you get a nice little bet.
Lovely. I'll probably beef Bella Nipotina, as I usually am in the mares races. A couple more on the card just for me over there. Race 2, number 2, My Khalifa, flying at the moment, and race 8, number 7, She Dances, pops up as well. I think they both run well. Anything else around Australia?
No, I like She Dances as well, mate, so I'm with you there.
Beauty. Tricky at Gosford, I don't have a lot there. I noticed Namesakes staying there instead of going to Queensland, but pretty ordinary card, to be brutally honest. Anything else?
That's it for me.
If you want one for your multis, maybe Ascot, race 2, number 2, Rear Admiral. Nice horse resuming there. Can throw in. But that's it. Thank you, Beaver.
No worries, mate.
Might catch you tomorrow for a cheeky beer, but otherwise, good luck this weekend. Enjoy your walk this morning. Good luck, punters, and we'll be back next Wednesday with our midweek preview. See you then, guys.